Today's sponsors are Angelo's Interiors, specialising in kitchens, bedrooms and bathrooms. Go and visit their showroom today in Gillingham. Their web address is angelosinteriors.com. And De Medici Associates, chartered structural and civil engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on demediciassociates.com.
Welcome to the Cherrywood podcast.
Into that bit.
Just put the clapper in there. A lot of people look down, but it's really just put the clapper in so we can see your name. Say your name.
Okay, so the screen is what you're seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just make sure that's all in there and everyone's in there.
They will do exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Check your name.
Exactly. Who am I again? Who am I? What am I? Hi, this is Jen Woodley, celebrant, ready for my podcast with Cherrywood Productions. Action!
Oh, that was quite a good one.
Oh,
yeah, I
like that.
I'll hang it here so everyone can see you constantly.
Was that right? Did I get your name right as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Don't worry about my name. There we go. Right, Jen, before we start,
Yes.
let's do a time on that before it falls off the wall. How long do you think?
I'm going to say about 90 seconds.
90 seconds from now. That's because it's already fallen off one. But I definitely pushed harder. Definitely.
There was not much blue tack on the back of that.
Oh, there's no blue tack. It's all double-sided rubbish. I'm the only person that searches on Amazon for bad double-sided tape.
What's the worst? With the lowest?
Lower duty, light duty, not heavy duty.
Gorilla Glue the other day. That's pretty strong stuff.
Yeah,
You want it to be able to be removable, don't you? That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
okay.
That's
you
all
want
right.
it to be able to be
So
removable.
this amateur here, who I'm trying to get to talking to a mic, is my friend Kelly.
not
She's
used to
standing
that.
in.
Hi,
She's standing
Kelly.
in for. I'll introduce you in a sec as well. Sorry, my love. So yeah, standing is Kelly Burrows. Hello, Kelly.
Hi,
She's
Simon.
my friend.
Can I just say, he has actually hit me now at 6
couple of
times.
She's my sister from another foof, or I don't know what you say. Sorry.
You're my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it's not from my
We're in
actual
bands
mother.
together. We'll talk a bit more, but well, none of you know, but Rachel's not very well. So, well, you do know because I've mentioned it about 4 weeks ago where this is pre-recorded. So,
I'm sorry.
Rachel's not very well. She's in hospital at the moment. She's fine. She's getting better. I can't say too much. It's all to do.
It's a hush hush.
It's all to do with having a huge bum and stuff. It's not really. Anyway, so Kelly's standing in because she doesn't stop talking, so I thought she'd be ideal for it. And we got Jen. Hello, Jen.
Hi.
Not met you before. Come all the way from Bexhill. That's a drive.
Yes.
Bless you. And so you're a celebrant.
That's right, yeah. I'm an independent celebrant.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And you just go by your name, yeah? No.
Yeah, so
company name.
Jen Woodley Celebrant is my business name. I thought I'd keep it simple.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, and what does a celebrant do? Because for me, that would be like professional party person. You just turn up to a party and...
So independent celebrants are somebody who's going to come and help you celebrate a particular life milestone.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, weddings is what I'm specialising in.
Yeah.
But also some celebrants will do funerals, celebrations of life. I'm also offering renewal of vows, baby namings or renamings. So for a milestone like, getting married, someone who's going to help to organise the ceremony part of that.
Oh, so it would be in place of maybe a religious person or...
Yeah, so
Okay.
when it comes to weddings and getting married, people have lots of options, but I'm not sure that everyone's kind of aware of all the options that they've got nowadays. I think in sort of modern society where, weddings and marriage is, it's kind of changing a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose when we think of like the traditional wedding, going to church, getting married in a religious building, or you might do a civil ceremony, going to a registry office, getting it done there. And then a lot of people might choose to go to a particular venue and have the registrars come out and get married that way. But there are sort of new kind of ways people are getting married. So, I mean, from the legal side of things, it has to be a religious minister or a registrar that's legally, writing the document and, sort of doing the official signing. But some people now want a bit more personalisation, a bit more creativity in their ceremony.
Razzle dazzle.
A bit more razzle dazzle, maybe. Why not? Or they might just want to incorporate certain elements that perhaps a church wedding or a civil ceremony at a registry office can't offer.
Yeah.
Because there are certain restrictions for what religious ceremonies and civil ceremonies can do. So a celebrant can offer a lot more input from the couple themselves, a lot more, sort of personalisation.
So I now need to know.
Yes. Are you getting married soon?
No, no one would be mad enough.
Never again. But if Simon and I wanted to have a celebration of being friends,
yes,
could we
that's
have?
Not happening either.
Could we have a Star Wars themed wedding?
Absolutely.
And would you dress as a Star Wars character and do it in Star Wars theme?
Absolutely. And this is happening. See, this is happening. Some people want to be really creative and have like themed weddings. So, for example, things like Peaky Blinders, Game of Thrones, Star Wars. These sort of things are totally possible with a celebrant-led wedding.
And you're okay in a Princess Leia bikini?
I think I'd go for the whole white robe rather than the bikini.
It's a no from me.
Or maybe Chewbacca.
I'm now retracting. So I thought that no, I would not get married again, but this is now changing my mind.
Yeah.
So nothing to do with a relationship. Just
Maybe I can marry myself.
Ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, totally. You can sort of really embrace like the fun side of it.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have a salt burn. Oh, a salt burn ceremony.
I haven't seen it yet, although I'm a part-time teacher and some of the kids at school have been talking about it and I have thought, I'm not sure it's
Don't watch it with your parents.
possibly age appropriate, but yeah, so definitely themed weddings are fun. But of course, like traditional wedding style ceremonies are also fine, but also about like incorporating different elements. So, for example, I think what's great about celebrant-led weddings is that if you've got a couple who are perhaps from like a mixed background, for example, I went to a wedding ceremony a couple of years ago where it was a same-sex marriage. The grooms were from different backgrounds. One was from a sort of Asian Muslim background, the other from a British background. And they wanted to have nods to their heritage, nods to their culture. Obviously, they couldn't get married in a religious building because it's not you're not going to be able to satisfy both parties. So a religious ceremony was going to be out. A civil service is possible because obviously we've had same-sex marriage now for more than 10 years. Hooray.
Absolutely.
And then what you can do in a celebrant-led ceremony is you can use traditions, you can have rituals from a mixture of cultures. You can, mention different cultures, different religions. Whereas in a registrar wedding, you're not able to do that because there are certain restrictions. There's, a particular legal script that you have to say for a civil marriage ceremony.
Basically a contract, isn't it?
I mean, it sounds a bit boring, but that's what it is at the end of the day. It's a legal contract. So I suppose for people who want to... Oh, I think that was more than 90 seconds.
When I was drinking tea.
I think that was maybe 3 minutes. So I was a bit out there, wasn't I?
Actually, have you got a button in there? Whoops.
Yeah, sorry. Where were you?
Where was I? What was
you didn't win, unfortunately.
We were talking about the fact that with a registrar-led ceremony and the legal implications
exactly
of that, they have to be done in a very specific way.
Yeah, it is quite a specific script, and there are certain things that you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to have religious hymns. You're not allowed to have particular religious prayers.
No fun.
And the wording has to be right. I've filmed weddings where everyone's clapped and then the registrar's gone back over and said, you've worded this wrong, so I both need you now in front of the witness quietly while you're pretending to sign a register to say this line again. Happens all the time.
Whoa.
I've been to a wedding where the registrar has got the name not quite right.
On my first wedding.
Because they've perhaps just met, they've only met half an hour before.
Yeah. On your first wedding,
On my first wedding, it was a church wedding and the vicar showed us the details before obviously you sign. This is before my first wife came up the aisle and he got something wrong. I can't remember what he got wrong. And we were like, oh, you've done that wrong. And all my mates were laughing. So I can't remember what it was he got wrong. Probably middle name or so. It's only John. I don't know how you can mess that up. John, of all things, in the church as well. Anyway, so my mates are laughing. He said, oh, there's a special way of doing this. There's a special thing I've got to do. The vicar was getting stressed. I said, is it Tipex? And,
Rub it out.
So I keep posting it. And he got the ump over it, but he still married me. So, sorry, it's a boring story.
You married a vicar?
I married the vicar, yeah. I've been better off.
So that was for you. So you had a religious marriage.
My first one was religious.
Okay. What about your next one?
It was non-religious.
And how did that one go? How was that different from your first one?
I got married in a church. I got married in Hadlow Church on the first one. I got married at Penshurst Place on the second one.
Okay.
Lovely.
Civil service.
Civil service, yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
They were both good. And at the time.
For the second marriage, was that before you'd got into your photography and videography?
No. So I got married, and 4 years later started the business.
Okay.
And then got married again.
Yeah.
I only married Rachel because she's a photographer.
Yeah.
I keep looking here because that should be Rachel.
It should be Rachel, but it's not. Oh.
Yeah. And we play in a band together.
Oh, okay.
I'm the best bass player she's ever met.
The best bass.
Even though apparently now she's... You don't want me to mention it, Kel? Okay. She likes bass players.
Tell me after.
She likes bass players. I prefer drummers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And forgive me, my phone goes off every podcast and I
Busy
get told
man.
off. But this time I have to keep it on just to see if Rachel's all right.
Yeah, no worries.
That's nothing to do with Rachel. Right.
And even if it does go off, it won't be Rachel.
No.
She'll be thinking, I won't message him
Because he's on the podcast.
because
He knows what he's in the podcast.
So, Jen, what led you to do this? Tell us about little Jen.
About little Jen. Well, I think over the last few years, I suppose everyone's had that moment to kind of pause and reflect and just have that bit of time to kind of stop and go, right, what's happening in my life? You know, do I want to be doing the same things forever? So most of my career, I've been in education. So I've been a teacher for about 20 years. God. I've done a few other things in between time. I've done a little bit of proofreading. I used to work in insurance many years ago. I did languages at university.
Right.
And then went straight into a job in insurance, which it did use my languages a bit, but it wasn't really wasn't my ambition.
More terms and conditions type things, isn't it?
It wasn't my ambition long term. And then I went into teaching, which I've been doing for 20 years. So I've been teaching French, Spanish, also do a bit of English as a foreign language. So I've always really been about words and communicating, and I love learning about like other cultures and, you know, seeing how the other world lives. And then we had COVID, we had lockdown. There was time to breathe a little bit more. I was at home teaching online. I did have to go into school sort of on a rota every week or so to help with the kids that did have to be in school.
Those were the days.
Those were the days, yeah. It's so strange thinking back to those days now, what we lived through. I suppose we all went through our own sort of personal.
I was working in education
personal
at the time
journey.
as well,
Okay, so yeah, I
remember
you
it.
get me. And then I suppose I went back to teaching after COVID, but thinking, okay, I'm kind of in the middle of my professional career now, like in terms of time. Do I want to be doing this for another 20, 25 years? Probably not. You know, I value education. You know, I love what's behind it, but doing it myself for the next 20 years full time, it's not what I want to do. I need a bit more creativity in my life. I need another outlet. I just wanted to do something a bit different. And then, you know, I've been to, you know, many weddings over the years. A couple of years ago, I was sat in a wedding. It was lovely, like beautiful wedding, you know, lovely couple. But I sat there watching the ceremony happening thinking, maybe if I'd have done this, like maybe I would have done that. Or, I mean, it slightly bugged me that this registrar got someone's name wrong twice.
Yeah.
I thought, oh no. And they told me afterwards that they'd only like literally met the registrar like 30 minutes before. And then I thought, you know, is that something that I might want to do? And I looked into it, and then I heard about celebrants who are not registrars. They're not, you know, ministers of religion, but they can still be a part of someone's special day, someone's big day. And there is that element of creativity in writing, helping to write the script, the ceremony, you know, meeting the couple, getting to hear about their story, about their journey. And helping to sort of retell that story in front of their loved ones in, in whichever way they want to do that, whether that's through the medium of Star Wars. Why not?
I mean, I'm not 100% sure that is where I would go. I probably clowns.
Clowns. Oh,
Do you love clowns?
I do. I love them, but
I'm not sure about the clowns.
I love clowns. I can really see that. I think when you said about if you meet the registrar that's marrying you on the day you're getting married, or the person that's overseeing a funeral, and it's you have no personal.
I think that would make me feel quite nervous.
Really yeah.
Disjointed a little bit.
Yeah. Whereas with celebrants, you get to know the couple 6 months, 12 months in advance.
Yeah.
So you can really get to know them, and on the day it's almost like your friends. Yeah. You know that person, they trust you because they've already sort of been through how the ceremony is going to go. So that I think that's going to give them confidence as well, and that they've got something personal to them.
I'm sold. I mean, where do I start?
Sign you up.
My first wedding had a celebrant in it, who I see every now and then at weddings, and that was in 2000.
Oh, okay. So they were quite early doors.
He told me about Jimmy Savile in 2000.
Wow.
When did all that come out? Way after that. Yeah. Just a
little segue there.
But
and next up, the post office scandal.
Yeah.
I always think of him because he said
Jimmy Savile when you think of your wedding.
I don't always think of Jimmy Savile, but he said way before it came out that he was one. But anyway.
I bought a shell suit when I was away in December. I bought a lovely shell suit in a charity shop in Cromer, and as I was so happy. This shell suit, never been worn, beautiful. I was like, yes, I'm going to be living my best vintage
Someone
life.
say you look like Jimmy
And
Savile.
as I was leaving, the lady said behind the counter, I hope this doesn't offend you, but this always reminds me of Jimmy Savile as I walked out. And so it is currently hanging in the wardrobe until I can get over the fact that she said that. I'm glad that you brought up Jimmy Savile.
That reminds me of Myra Hindley, what you're wearing now.
Anyway, back to happier times.
Okay, so right, sorry. So your first ever day as a celebrant, was you scared because you're basically performing? It's a performance.
I mean, there is that element of nerves, but it's also excitement. And I think, having been a teacher for so long, I'm really used to standing up in front of a crowd, sort of commanding an audience, if you will, leading an audience to really feel in the moment. And because I'm the one that's written the script, I've practiced it. We can do run-throughs with the couple in advance, so they know, okay, this is the point where we're going to do vows. This is the point where we're going to do rings. This is the point where we might do a hand fasting or a unity candle ritual or something like that. It's nice to incorporate those sort of personal touches if people want that.
Something like jumping the broom.
Jumping the broom, exactly. Yeah. So, but that's what's nice, because you can incorporate all those kind of different rituals, whereas perhaps in a civil ceremony, that's not going to fly.
Not going to happen.
Yeah. So there is an element of nerves, but I think you just want to do the best for them. Yeah, you want to do the best for them on the day, but because you've been in control of, the script and you've been through it with them, there's that confidence between the celebrant and the couple, and
Right. Now, the most important question for me
is, go on.
Do you help the photographers when they do the group shots?
So what is also great about having a celebrant is that because you know who your celebrant is going to be in advance, they can, contact the photographer, contact the venue, contact any of the other suppliers within the wedding, so that you're already kind of on the same board, on the same page, on board together, so that it's a smooth running of the day.
Yeah, because what really helps us in the group shots is if we give you the list and then you're gathering the next queue of people. It really does help. Because Kelly actually, even though she's just my friend and I'll keep punching her, she does help.
I do.
You've done a few weddings.
I can be helpful.
She can.
You're a great assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for things like karaoke where you're music-minded. And
if you ever go to a wedding and there is a photographer, a videographer, or there's karaoke, please participate, because the bride and groom, or the grooms or the brides, whoever it is, they want that to happen.
I love a sing-song at a wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And they don't have to sing. This is the thing. the amount of times, to remind people, you don't actually have to sing. You've
They're
just
worried
got a
about
mouth
their
and
voice,
they're so worried.
you know, but
So just, the nerves
Yeah.
go, just please do it, because otherwise it's really difficult.
So what kind of things would you say help you as a photographer and videographer from the other suppliers and celebrants' point of view? How can I help you photographers to
Just that, really.
Yeah.
keep you sweet?
You're a herder. for
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good at herding. School trips.
Yeah.
I'm all over
Yeah.
it.
It's
You're
that
a
herding
herder.
cat,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
What happens with us? Well, when we shoot the wedding, when we shoot the what am I trying to say?
I don't know, darling.
Ceremony,
No, after the ceremony. Well, I've just mentioned the word and now it's gone.
When you-
It's
when
gone.
karaoke, drinks.
No, people get
Reception.
together.
The wedding party.
The group shots.
The group shots.
It was a
Group
simple
shots.
word.
Simple.
Put in there. When we shoot the group shots, we tend to shoot them backwards from what guests would expect. So we get everyone together first,
Yeah.
because the worst thing in experience is, especially if it's a big venue, these little sheep go off with their drinks and they all disappear into different nooks and crannies and toilets and things like that.
Yeah.
And a celebrant is perfect for keeping on
Yeah.
top of that, because it's a nightmare otherwise. It
Yeah,
would have gone
otherwise
far longer than
just
sometimes
running
we get
around.
half an hour in between the ceremony and sitting down for a meal. We get half an hour to knock these photos out, which is hard.
Yeah.
And if everyone, he's just gone, where's Dave? He's just gone to the toilet. He's just popping down to the shops because he needs some fags.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And then, they still want the same results from you, but with no one actually there. So
Yeah.
celebrant is perfect for that.
Yeah,
for
and
us.
I think it's good that you can sort of work together like that and help
Yeah.
each other out.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
speeches as well. So
Yep.
I always go to celebrant and go, look, I've not pushed record on any of my cameras yet. I want to push record before you start calling people in. And then that's what they do. They come in, they let us know when they're going to go. Yeah, it works better. You're actually a part of my team. That's where I look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a whole host of people creating a team for that couple. And if suppliers, photographers, celebrants, venues, can work together, I think it's going to make a more smooth running, enjoyable day for everybody.
Definitely.
And at the end of the day, it's the couple who are at heart, aren't they?
If wedding suppliers can't work together, be it a photographer and videographer can't work together, then more for them.
Yeah.
We get on with all of them,
Is it usual to have like separate companies for photographers and videographers?
It's changing quite a lot. Obviously, we do photography and videography, but you do have separate companies, but you know each other, really.
Yeah.
And
You get to know each other.
I have a company, a very good company, and do exactly the same, videography and photography. And he sends me a text, just send someone your way because I'm booked on that day.
Yeah.
And we do vice versa. You've got to help each other out. You just
that's
don't know when
happened to
one of
me
you
as
is
well.
going to be
Yeah.
ill or something like that,
That is also true.
And we're in Kent. Weddings are, they're not 10 a penny. Are they 10 a penny?
As in, there's lots of.
Yeah, there
are lots of
They're 10 a
them.
penny. No, yeah, so we're in the capital of weddings.
Yeah, I
really,
mean,
in Kent. And there's so much to go around. So much
Yeah.
to go around. Rachel's going to make a T-shirt for me now.
There's so much to go around. Is it 10 a penny? I think you're right. And I was talking to somebody about this as well the other day. When I remember we played at a festival once, and I contacted the bands either side of us to see what songs people were doing as their set list, because that's important that we don't all go on and play the same thing. And most people didn't want to share what they were playing. Now, they're not our songs. They don't belong to us.
Yeah.
We're playing cover songs. Come on. And that actually, if we don't all support each other and venues and share stuff like that, then it's detrimental to everybody. It's far better, and we promote work across our industries if we support and help each other, as opposed to putting each other off.
It's a sign of insecurity, is what it is.
I think it can be.
It's a sign of insecurity. It's
that
a
scarcity
photographer
mentality,
doesn't want
isn't
you
it?
to, oh God, I don't want you to judge my stuff. Just get on with it and do it. The couple are the people that you should be caring about.
Yeah,
definitely.
They're the people. I don't care what other videographers and photographers think, mate. All I care about is that couple saying we loved it, we cried over it, And it's the same with bands.
Mm-hmm.
Bands are thinking, oh, I bet they can play it better than us.
Of course,
It's not necessarily even about better, is it? It's different
about
because
better.
people
Never
have all
about
got,
better.
different tastes, haven't they?
Some of these bands will purposely play the same song just to show
that
just to show they can do it. Oh, yes, it's
It's
sad.
so funny,
It's
but
sad.
it works in that same way. and I know that we were talking earlier on about there's some celebrants that I know that you know of as well, and it's just that thing. The community that I'm seeing, is far nicer when everybody supports each other.
Yeah.
When it's not a
Community is really important amongst celebrants. I mean, I trained with the Association of Modern Celebrancy, Academy of Modern Celebrancy, I should say. And they were really fantastic for building that community, really supportive. And even after the training, you know, sort of still getting in touch with each other, having a little meet up at Christmas. But it's nice to know people in the area as well, because if, you know, God forbid, on the day, you know, you were... lost your voice or broke your arm or something, you've got someone you could call as a backup. Or I know that amongst, I'm not doing them at the moment, funerals, but I know amongst funeral celebrants, sometimes you just need that, I suppose, that bit of extra support if there's a particularly difficult ceremony coming up or afterwards. So I have found it to be a very supportive, supportive environment, which is great.
It's actually quite funny because we've had one celebrant in already. She does funerals mainly, and then weddings as well. But her name is also Jen.
There are so many Jens in the celebrant world.
She looks like you as well.
Oh, really?
I think people are going to think we've got her back in.
No, it's Jen Woodley.
Honestly. Lynchfield, I think. Litchfield.
Okay, yeah, I think I have heard of her.
Yeah, really strange. Oh, I was going to say something else now, but I've forgotten. So, do you have a certain residence, like a place where you would normally do weddings, you know, a resident in one of the venues?
So, you know, working across venues really. So at the moment I'm sort of contacting a few other new venues, because I think that's one of the great things about being a celebrant is that you're not just tied to one place. You can go and see lots of lovely different locations. And like we said, in the southeast, Kent, East Sussex, there are so many gorgeous places, which helps kind of with a variety. I mean, you know, nice hotels, barns. You can get married outside. You know, weather dependent, although
See, some people will quite happily go to use the same venue and work the same venue every week. But personally, it would drive me nuts. I recommended supply of quite a few venues, but it would drive me nuts if I was to do it. If it was the best venue in the world, it would drive me spare.
I think it's nicer to sort of get that variety and see different places.
Yeah, and just weddings would drive me nuts as well. So, you know, as much as I like doing weddings, but, you know, just to do wedding would kill me. That's why I do advertisement and things like that and other projects.
I was going to ask actually, because I mean, supposedly there's about 200,000 plus weddings a year, and it's about 80-20 split now on religious ceremonies and civil service. So about 80% civil ceremonies, 20% religious. What's the kind of mix like in your
probably
sector?
Reflects that.
Yeah.
It's about an 80-20 split, I'd say.
And
it's harder work with a church and civil.
I was going to say, what's the kind of difference for you in terms of your end?
I tend to film someone's complete day. So we do offer these short packages where you get a 15-minute sort of look at me. I call it a look at me type wedding, because it's like a movie. It's not their day as their day actually is. So I like to knock out a full wedding service, full wedding speeches, full first dance, but still into music. It still moves from one scene to another nicely. You know, it's not just cut really sharp. However, the timings can be hard because you can get this couple who talk a lot in the speeches.
Yeah.
And you can get a wedding service that goes on for an hour. So it could be a 2-hour video. Then you can have another wedding that's a civil ceremony, and 8 minutes is the quickest one I've filmed. The actual service.
8 minutes.
8 minutes service. Do you? Yep. Do you? Yep. Okay.
Done. Sign.
Done.
Off you go.
And then they've stood up and gone, thanks very much, sat back down. Literally, the groom, the father, the bride, and the best man have gone, yeah, he's a good laugh. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Sit down. And I'm like, I'm struggling to
You're
get 30 minutes.
going to have to edit that later.
I'm struggling to get 30 minutes here.
Fill that a bit with something.
Yeah. And some of them don't like dancing either.
Okay.
You know, no first dance. So it ranges. We sell it from 30 minutes to an hour and a half. But if it goes past an hour and a half, so be it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, it's a hard one. Brilliant. Silent.
The thing, I remember doing a church wedding with you, and it's the space as well, because of how they're...
I suppose churches are a little bit more...
Yeah. And there'll
hard
be
to get around.
There'll be the poster board on the wall with the playgroup with the
Oh, right,
owls
yeah,
made out of
yeah.
handprints and things like that, and trying not to get it, or the stack of something in the corner. You tend to not get in venues.
Yeah, and our terms and conditions always state that we have no say on the position of recording in a church.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes, well, they're all nice. They're all nice people, but sometimes they're very strict about where you where you put one. So I've hidden GoPros under plants and things.
Good.
You know, well, I told them I've done it.
I know,
Yeah.
you know.
But they say you can't go behind me, you can't go there, you can't go there. You're just going to have to stay down there.
Stick an extra
And I
camera
said,
in
well,
the
can I
font.
just hide a camera up here then? You know, hide one, and then you get away with it. But you know, in our terms and conditions, it has to state that we can't.
Yeah.
We can't guarantee the angle is what we desire.
Yeah, and you can't move,
No.
solid stone
No flashes.
columns and.
Do you prefer filming and shooting sort of in outdoor ceremonies then, or what's the
Outdoor
ideal
can also
for
be
you?
a pain. There's some venues, because it's not just visual, it's the sound.
Yeah.
So there are some venues that look beautiful, but they have a main road near them.
Yeah.
Some of them have a racing track near them. You know, which is, they're not right on it, but you can hear cars quite easily with microphones. There's ways of suppressing it. Some have waterfall, so it's a lovely water feature, but it really does cut into them talking.
Yeah. It's the same in the ceremony as well, actually. The idea of an outdoor ceremony is lovely, but you do have to check things like microphones, because if if there is like a lot of wind or if there's something going on nearby, you need to make sure that your voice is going to carry to the back so that everyone can hear.
So we have 4 clip-on mics.
Yeah.
So even if the guests can't hear, they'll be able to hear the video.
Yes,
You know,
that's really good.
The same with the speeches as well. We have 4 mics that we can dot around. If we're filming speeches, we've probably got 3+ cameras on the speeches, but around 6 mics. So we should be covered. If I haven't got a decent sound from 6 mics, then they've got the wrong person.
It is something that you are particular. I'm going to give you a compliment. You are particularly good at those things.
Oh, thanks, Kel.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Credit where it's due, Si.
Years of experience.
It's very good.
It's backup stuff. You know, it's backup. So if I'm filming, even if they've gone for a 1-camera package, which I don't really offer that much these days, but if they've gone for a 1-camera package, I'll mount another camera on that camera just in case it fails.
Well, there's only, you've only got one shot, haven't you?
Chance.
Yeah,
Completely
it's a
different. So
one-take
when I
event.
When I filmed the comedy, it was a luxury,
Yes, I heard about
It
this.
was an absolute luxury because you could stop as many times as you want.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you've still got a time limit.
Yeah.
Because it's costing you otherwise, especially if it's your own comedy that you're doing. It's costing you time and actors and things, but you can stop and have as many goes as you want. Really good.
It's
I couldn't do that at a wedding.
No, can you imagine? Can we just stop now and go back?
Yeah.
I wonder how many people would do it if they would do that. Actually, I didn't walk in then in the way that I wanted to.
Yeah, there
Everyone
probably
stop.
are. There probably are some people that have done that. Yeah. I didn't look good then.
And I didn't like that. I didn't like the way I came
We're in
around
that
the
sort of
corner.
world, aren't we? We're in that world where they want it all filtered and things, but
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah.
Well, with a celebrant-led ceremony, I suppose there is that possibility for being a bit more flexible with timings and things. So,
Yeah.
I mean, with registrars, they're usually doing, several ceremonies in a day, so you're kind of on the clock a bit. But with most celebrants will just take like one booking a day, so you're sort of theirs for the day. So you can be a little bit flexible.
You nearly blah, 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 blah.
That's
They've
what I
got
was
you to
thinking
around the
as
first
well.
dance, haven't they? You've usually got them just after the first dance.
I mean, you can extend it and do some master of ceremony things as well if needed. But it's sometimes nice just to hang around and like see what's happening and see those other moments,
So-
cake cutting and get a bit of cake.
Compare like a baby naming to a wedding.
So naming ceremonies, I suppose, are like the non-religious way of doing a christening. So you have a new baby or you have a young child. Adoptions as well is also something where namings can be great, and sort of to introduce a new child into the family, introduce your new child to your to your community. It's a nice way of doing that for those people that aren't religious, or perhaps that. If someone's had a christening sort of when a baby's very young and not everyone's been able to attend. I mean, if you think with, the last few years, like COVID, with weddings and christenings not being able to go ahead in the way that people wanted them to, now people might want to have, a ceremony to mark that occasion where, more people can be there. Baby namings are quite common as well.
I've never been to one, have you?
No.
Never sound
People
like
don't really invite me to things where people have to be on their best behaviour.
It's because you turn up in a clown suit.
You can be the entertainment.
I don't. Well, and this is the thing. I don't know a huge amount of people that have had children whilst I've been in a position to be able to attend, either not away working or living away. You see?
I see.
But yeah,
and we performed at a couple of weddings before, haven't we?
we have.
As a band?
Yes.
Oh, fab.
There's a couple of venues I've only done as a band.
Multi-talented, aren't
Yeah.
you?
There's a couple of venues I've only done as
As a band.
and never filmed. I've been filming for 20 years. Well, I've been playing since bands, but I've not been in a wedding band.
What
If anyone
style of
needs a band.
music do you do then?
Anything.
Whatever
kind of-
people want
Yeah.
from us. Yeah.
Literally anything.
Yeah.
So Foo Fighters down to Bobby's Girl. No.
It's his favourite.
I was going to say, is there like a
Bobby's Girl.
favourite wedding song that people like you to play?
Remember we did that wedding and we sung If I Lie Here.
Yes.
And then they just all laid on the floor.
Okay.
The whole
Maybe
lot.
it was like an in-joke.
It was an in-joke. It was an in-joke.
People always ask for Young Hearts Run Free at weddings.
I mean,
and
that's
they-
nice and joyful, but the message behind it is slightly...
And I do. Have you listened to the words? Please,
Yes,
Please
yes.
listen to the words. What's the sense in sharing this one and only life?
It's kind of an
Empty out,
anti-love
just another
song.
lost and lonely wife.
Yeah.
And they will honestly, and the bridal party will have, the bridesmaids will be all over the place. Everyone will be having a great time. And you just think, yep, we're not. It always feels like a really odd
Yeah,
one to sing.
it's-
People always
yeah.
want it. And then,
But I said to Rachel the other day, there's two people that listen to music. There's people like me that listen to the music,
yep.
and then there's people that take the lyrics in. I've never been interested in the lyrics.
Oh, really?
Never been interested in the lyrics. Maybe it's a
I think I'm
dyslexic. Maybe it's a dyslexic thing. But you know, Raspberry Beret, I thought was Wax Lyrical Girl.
You thought it was what?
Wax Lyrical Girl.
Yeah, misunderstanding lyrics can lead to some...
There's misunderstandings and then there's misunderstandings, isn't there? I just didn't care. I just listened to the tune and I wasn't that into Prince, if I'm honest. I know. I knew you wouldn't like that. But I wasn't that into it. Yeah, Wax Lyrical
Simon.
Girl.
Simon. That's it, I'm going.
So it's just like a distant sort of, you know, yeah, I know who he is and he plays that song. I know how to play it, but then he, you know, I don't know, what's it called? Wax Lyrical Girl or something like that. And Rachel was like, no.
Oh.
And
Yeah, I really care about lyrics.
I often
I'm a words person.
Really care about
Yeah.
lyrics.
see, I think it must be a dyslexic thing, really.
I think you're just making an excuse. Just think you're lazy.
Oh, fair enough. I've never taken them in and got the meaning from them.
I
To
suppose,
me,
but also you're not
it's the
a singer.
music that catches me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it catches me to the point where I'm nearly in tears, where
Well,
it's so beautiful.
That's the thing. It can be quite emotional. Some
Yeah,
some
very
songs
much.
really just get you, don't they?
Yeah.
I never cry, do I, on stage?
Oh, you cry all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
All the time. All the time on stage. And yeah, it's usually by me going, come on.
There's certain tunes that just get. I think that's so amazing the way that's been written. 10 Ton Skeleton by Royal Blood. Do you know the song?
Yes, I do know the song.
It's just so well done.
You're going to cry
And
now?
no, it didn't make that. That one don't make me cry. But listen, if anyone's watching, listen to 10 Ton Skeleton. How cool that's done. It's done by one bloke and a drummer. One bloke, or two blokes then. So beautiful. It's beautifully done. Sorry. Sorry, Jen.
No.
Oh, Jen. Sorry, Jen.
Drummers are less than human.
Can I ask why you rather Jen than extended?
I think when I was younger, when I was like a kid, people called me Jenny, and then I think, do you know what I think it was?
Yeah.
I think it was Forrest Gump.
Oh,
Jenny.
yeah.
Jenny.
It was
Yeah.
I love you, Jenny.
Oh, I get it.
And I think eventually people just shorten names a lot of the time. Do you get shortened to Si?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Okay.
In my
Shortened to
family,
something
it
else.
is a lot. There's a lot of shortening of names,
Yeah.
and I think people have just got lazy, really. And
Yeah.
Jen is fine.
Rach. Call Rach. Kel.
Yeah, but Mum, sorry about that.
Does your mum hate
Oh,
Kel?
she hates it. Oh.
I'm going to purposely say it.
I know.
If I ever meet her, I'm going to have I never met your mum, have
Yes,
I?
you have.
I've not
It's
met your
very
mum.
sweet. You have.
Not met your mum.
My mum will be round here.
Get her on the podcast.
You've met my mum. Yes, you have.
Has your
You've met
mum
my
seen
parents.
pictures of me on your mantelpiece?
Yes.
Oh, sorry to jump away from you. When we was in a band, I just used to set on her birthday a naked picture of myself, but with a guitar covering everything up. And once you put it on her mantelpiece and your mum walked in, didn't she? It was only for a laugh.
It's still on my mantelpiece.
Is it?
Yes. Where else is it going to be?
God, there's been like 7-8 years. Anyway, sorry, Jen. So thank you for travelling all this way, because it's been a good, I would say, hour and a half, hasn't it, for you?
It is, but I'm going to have a little mooch around and see what's around Rochester. Might have a little look in.
Stay on Rochester High Street.
Okay.
All right.
Any recommendations for places to go
my
or
recommendation
avoid?
is stay on Rochester High Street.
Rochester High Street.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Rochester High Street's
And the
lovely.
cathedral.
And the cathedral and the castle.
Well, actually, I'm
museum.
originally from Medway area, so
Okay.
it's called kind of almost a return
So
homeward.
where was you born?
I was around like the Gillingham area.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then moved to South London. Grew up in South London.
Oh, really?
And then landed up in East Sussex.
Whereabouts in South London were you?
Bromley.
Bromley.
Yes.
Not Charlton fan, are you?
I am not. I know you are. I am another South London team.
Oh, no, Millwall.
No.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal
Oh, my
Palace.
goodness.
Of course it's going to be.
Yes.
Go Eagles.
Well,
Up
look,
the Eagles.
as much as I'm not supposed to like Crystal Palace, I've got a soft spot for
Oh,
them.
good.
We do.
Because my first ever game was when Charlton used to play there.
Yeah. Ground shed. Yeah. Yes, they are close to my
I've
heart.
got a tiny soft spot for Selhurst Park, and every Charlton fan now is going to want my head. That's saying that. Sad, isn't it?
It's okay. It's okay to like other teams.
We'll look after you, Si.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that you're all right.
Mm.
And Bexhill, I love very much. I did panto at the Delaware.
Oh, lovely.
She's a bit multi-talented, is our Kelly.
It's a
Amazing.
beautiful theatre. If I had to get married, that theatre might be a place.
Yeah, I mean, a great place for people who are in the
Beautiful.
arts and creative. Getting
It's
married to someone
such
like
a
that would be
stunning
amazing.
Have you ever been? No,
I've never been to Bexhill, but I do love a pan. Do you know what I like? I like Canterbury panto.
Yeah, but it's more about the building. So the Delaware Pavilion is Art Deco.
Yes,
Okay.
it's gorgeous.
Beautiful Art
Yeah.
Deco building.
Nice place for photos outside,
And
views of the sea.
right.
It's
It's
really stunning. We need to go.
We've played it nearby at Leeds Cliff, haven't we?
That's Folkestone.
Yeah.
That's not near Bexhill.
It's still the water.
Still the
isn't
coast.
it? No, we played somewhere else. Didn't we play Margate? That's even further back, isn't it?
Yeah, that's around the corner.
So Simon, in his spare time, really likes geography.
Geography, I was going to say. Geography
really,
wasn't your
really
best
good.
subject at
He's
school.
really good at geography.
Oh dear, I do know Bexhill. Yeah.
It's beautiful. So
I used to fancy a hairdresser that was from Bexhill. That's all I know really about Bexhill.
Is that why you're not allowed to go there now?
Oh, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
but there are probably many areas of the country that have like Simon free zone
No,
markings
not
around
that
them.
bad.
Right.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having
Is there
me.
anything else you want to cover that you don't feel we've covered in this podcast that's going to help your business?
Well, I think just to say for those couples that are getting married this year or next year to think about your choices. Really, you don't have to do the religious route. You don't have to do registrar route. You can have a celebrant-led wedding. Obviously, you do still have to do the legal paperwork at a registry office, but some couples will just do that a few days before.
Okay, so that's the bit. That's
Yeah.
how you do that bit.
Yeah,
That's how you
yeah.
that.
So you do the legal paperwork a few days before, and then you can just concentrate on the main lovely event with all your friends and family, and have the celebration that you want. That's unique about you and your love story, which I think is really important. But yeah, my website is jenwoodleycelebrant.co.uk. I'm also on Instagram, as everybody is, Jen Woodley Celebrant.
Nice.
Perfect. And on a personal note, I cannot recommend the celebrant enough because they really do help the day, really keep the day going. Everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because some venues are very good at it, but some venues aren't that great at helping the day go along.
Yeah.
I think if we can all work together.
Yeah. Because these people are trying to deal with rooms and moving rooms about and things, the last thing they want to be doing is organising you lot. You herds of people.
And I think, as Jen said, it's nice when the person that's doing that knows the wedding
Knows the
party,
couple,
Yeah.
knows the couple, is part of the day as opposed to just
They're not
somebody
just sort of turning
being
up
a
and
directing.
You've got a gauge of their characters already before the day's even started.
Yeah.
Which is
because
perfect.
you spend a lot of time, choosing the dress, choosing the cake, choosing the photographer, choosing the venue. I think it's nice to sort of build that relationship with all your suppliers, isn't it? And having having a celebrant, you can get to know them in advance
Definitely.
and have your input.
Brilliant.
I'm sold.
Oh yeah.
I'm on. That's it. I'm
Just
getting
got to
married.
find someone now.
I know. Well,
Bass player. Find a bass player.
bass player. Maybe I will.
Keep your eyes peeled at your next gig.
She does every gig. Her eyes are always looking for that next
And
victim.
I've always been really successful, Si, haven't I?
You have. Oh, yeah,
I look forward to that clown Star Wars
Oh my-
themed wedding.
I swear.
They always thought we were married, didn't they? Every time we gigged, she was so gutted. They always thought we were married. So they never used to try and pull her. It's because of the Mara Hindley stuff she wears.
You look beautiful, Kelly.
Thank you very much, Jen.
See, she's like a sister to me, so I can be horrible to her.
Because that's what you decide.
That's all right then.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to eat some chocolate.
Thank you. Thank you for standing in, Kelly.
You're welcome. I feel like I've been a very silent partner, but it's
Oh,
fine.
you've been good. You've been good. You've
Thank
asked
you for
questions.
being gentle with me and with Jen
And with me, this was my first podcast.
Oh,
and mine.
really?
You took our Cherrywood.
Took out Cherrywood. Oh dear. You've really broken the sign. Oh, we've got to have a photo of the sign because I forget that nearly every time.
Okay.
We'll do that in a minute.
All right.
Anyway, thanks everyone. I hope you
Thanks,
enjoyed
all.
it. Thank you, Jenny, for coming over again. And if you want to advertise on the Cherrywood podcast, contact us on cherrypro.com. Cherrywood Pro. Oh my God. I get
It says it on
wrong
the
every
sign.
week, every week. It's on the sign. www.cherrywoodpro.com/podcast. I think
Perfect.
that's it.
I think that's it.
Thank you
Bye.
very much.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Snug Dubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk.